Those computer glitches definitely highlight our dependence on technology. Cybersecurity expert Mr. Mike DeCesare joins us now. He's the former president and of McAfee and the current CEO of Forescout Technologies. Tell us about these glitches yesterday and how vulnerable it shows these companies to be.
Well, I think when you look in the way that we do business online these days, virtually everything that we do is online. I mean, from the way we interact with our banks to the institutions in the government that we fill out, whether it's DMV, what have you, virtually everything's online. And as companies bring more and more systems online, there's more vulnerabilities that get exposed as part of that process as well.
So if hacking is an issue in terms of what we jump to the conclusion, we hear there's a glitch and it happens over a few companies and oh, it must be hackers, and no, it's not. What does it say about the planning and the preparation that these companies are doing or not that allows this to unfold?
Well, I think first of all I think what we're hearing from in these organizations currently is the public relations side of their business. I mean, for a company to come out within 1 hour and say it wasn't a hack or it was a hack, it's speculative at that point. The reality is it takes time. I mean, what's likely going on right now inside these organizations is you have teams with the IT teams have pulled in forensics organizations. They're looking at servers, they're analyzing who had access, and they're trying to pinpoint what really happened. I don't think these stories are over. I think over the upcoming days and weeks, we'll hear more about what the real cause was behind these for sure.
In another 5 years, Mike, we're looking at some 25 billion with a B devices that will be connected to the internet. Does this illustrate how vulnerable these devices are? And can we secure the internet?
I think it's interesting. I mean, if you look back even a year ago, I mean, let alone September 11th, when the first plane hit the tower, I think people were trying to figure out what it was. And it wasn't until the second plane hit the tower that everybody realized it was terrorism. I think there's a little bit of that in the cyber world these days where, now when something happens online, our first reaction is that must be a cyber threat. And again, as you said, I mean, there'd be over 20 billion devices, 7 per human being on the planet by the year 2020. I mean, as all those things come online, every one of those is a potential place that's vulnerable for a corporation.
What's really scary about that, I guess, as a consumer, Mike, is that you're looking at refrigerators connected to the internet, cars connected to the internet, mass transit, your home security systems, medical devices. If it can happen to the New York Stock Exchange, what could be the impact if it happened to medical devices?
Well, and that's a very fair point, right? I mean, the things, if you're in a hospital and you're being operated on, the devices that are operating on you are on the internet. If you're driving in your car, while you're driving, it's on the internet. And I think it's really incumbent upon the manufacturers that are designing these systems to make sure that their systems are designed with security. If you went and bought a car as an example and, you wanted to buy a radio aftermarket, you wouldn't mind the dealership putting that in. But if you went and bought a car and that dealership said they were going to install the airbag aftermarket, you'd probably have a problem with that. You'd expect that to be designed in from the car before they even released it. And we have to expect those same things from all the people that we do business with online. If they're going to take our credentials, if they're going to take our medical information, it's their responsibility to keep those things safe. And I think you're seeing corporations put a tremendous amount of effort into that. On the same token, this is obviously a big area for corporations to try and make sure they stay safe against.
Mike DeCesare, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your expertise with us.
You bet.
Just wanted to mention here, it looks like the stock exchange has made up almost all of the losses from yesterday, up 239 points. They're seeing a big jump on NASDAQ as well, 1% in the open, and attributing much of this to a big rebound in China.